It's made of pine. We are back. It's the Infowarrior with Jason Bermas. We're taking your calls, zipping through them. Brent in New York City. Brent, you're on the line. Oh, how's that global warming doing for you, by the way? I hear, what is it, like, I think it was like 18 inches in New York City. Maybe I'm off. Brent?
Nah, it's only about a foot here so far.
Only like a foot?
It's not snowing at the moment.
Gotcha. What do you got for me today, Brent?
Listen, I just first want to say happy holidays and thank you, Alex, and, all the behind-the-scenes staff that you guys have and presenting information. I hear something new every time. Or I learn something new every time that I listen to you guys, like the stun belt thing with the guy on trial, the Patsy on trial for 9/11.
Yep.
I appreciate that. The sources and different things of that nature that you guys bring out. But I had one question related to what's coming up at the end of the year, the Codex Alimentarius thing. Have you heard anything new about that? I mean, it was big news within the last year or two, but now I haven't heard much about it.
I haven't heard a lot about it either. And for those that don't know what Codex Alimentarius is, it is the systematic control of our food supply. Basically, the FDA trying to regulate what kind of vitamins can be put out there, what we're allowed to put in our system, the end of organic foods. And apparently, this is supposed to all take place in 2012, and they've kind of led into it and slowly began to try to regulate these different things. I have not heard much on that front in the last 6 or so months. So if there is anybody out there that knows how the progression of Codex Alimentarius is going, whether or not they're trying to enforce it in different areas, whether or not they're trying to pass through even more nightmarish legislation, please call into the show or give us an email and give us a brush up. I know that Alex has some guests on. I think he had someone on about 4 or 5 months ago on that very subject. I thank you for the call, Brent. Let's jump to John in Washington. John, you're on the line. Yes, sir, John. And do we have him? Is this the same guy that dropped last time? I don't know. John, you were a good caller. I got like 3 words out of you the last time, but it doesn't seem like you can stick through. Something must be wrong with your phone system. Maybe you got one of those IP phones, brother. Get a cell phone. Let's go to Kerry in Georgia. Kerry, you're on the line.
All right, Jason. I've been a big fan of yours, and I was listening to you earlier talking about China making uniforms for our troops. Is that what
it's not our troops.
Correct?
It's actually the UK troops. Okay, the United States did decline to get this new model of soldier. Let me see what it is. Here it is right here. Here's the headline. It's out of the Telegraph, and it is British Army to get new uniforms turned down by the U.S. and made in China. The British Army is introducing a new camouflage design for all its soldiers after tests showed that it made them less likely to be seen by the enemy. But if you'll remember, the United States really revamped their entire uniform system just before, or actually, I think it was just before the Iraq War, sometime after the Afghanistan invasion, where instead of the traditional camouflage, it went to more of a digital type camouflage. It was still there, but it had like the little pixelated squares and whatever. And they also swapped the way the flag was represented. It used to be that it was right side the regular way, and then they reversed the symbol of the flag.
I got a question for you. Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of the things that come shipped from China that are sold over here, all you got to do is Google RFID chip sewn into seam of clothes. Yeah. And you'll get, lots of stories about it. Mm-hmm. And it's so that when you check out, it's already in the product. Mm-hmm. And if, they're ordering them from China and they're already,
well, chances are there's RFID tags in them anyway because they are military. When I interviewed Tommy Thompson, who was the ex-head of Health and Human Services back in 2007 in the run-up to the 2008 election when he was still on the Republican ticket during the primaries, he openly stated that there would be vast military uses for this RFID technology and that it was the future and there would be no way to get away from it. I thank you for the call, Kerry. Let's go to Chuck in North Carolina. Chuck, you're on the line.
Hey, Jason, how you doing?
Good, man.
2 quick statements and then a question.
Mm-hmm.
The statements being Ron Paul 2012, let's get it started, everybody out there. It's our ball to carry it. Whether he runs or not. The other one is call the Republicans, not the Democrats, to get this health care bill stopped. And anytime anybody wants to bring up William Cooper, I would say maybe we should have Robert Martinez's family on and talk about how William Cooper killed their relative.
Yeah, you know, it's just like,
I
I hear you, man, and I'm not about to make a big debate between me and, you know, a dead man who actually did some good things. But, you know, when somebody calls in and they say, you know, this is the height of the Patriot movement, he's 100% right, he's what this movement should be all about, I have to disagree in spades, man. That's not what this movement is about. He did pave the way for a lot of us, but at the same time, we have to be rational thinking human beings, and we should not focus on the past. We need to drive through the future. What do you got for me, Chuck?
Besides that, not much, man. I don't think that we can align ourselves that much with Bill Cooper. I mean, I just don't think we can. Like you said, submarines at the North Pole, and I mean, I'm sorry, but I'm not saying that everyone out there that is into him shouldn't, you know, we shouldn't welcome them in. But when people want to call up and say, Jason Bermas and Alex Jones, you guys, you know, are no good, even worse. I mean, some of the stuff Bill Cooper said about Alex, come on.
No, I'm with you, brother. I'm with you 110%. I thank you for the call. Let's go to Cosma in Canada. Cosma, you're on the line.
Yes, hello?
Yes, sir.
Oh, so you can hear me good.
Yep.
I have too many questions. I have too many things to say. I'll keep it short. I have a curiosity. How is your safety? Because you guys are sharing so much information that.
All right, let me address that. Let me address that, Cosmo.
How are you guys securing yourselves?
Yeah, sure. Let me address that, and then I'll let you get in the second question since you've got so much to talk about. Look, man, I can't live in fear. I refuse to wake up every morning with my, you know, eyes looking over my shoulder, being in fear of where I'm going to go or what I'm going to do or who's after me. I've had some pretty weird experiences. I've traveled the country. I've gotten a few veiled threats. I've gotten some threatening phone calls, but I don't let it get to me. You know what scares me more? What scares me more is that a criminal element within our government worked with an international intelligence organization to carry out 9/11 and kill 3,000 plus Americans in the city I love, in the middle of Manhattan, in a building I had been in several times and marveled at as a child. That scares me more, that people won't step up and fight these people. So I am more than willing to give up my life. It's, you know, I've lived a good one. I'm going to keep pressing forward throughout my life, and I just refuse to live in any sort of fear. I don't have a bodyguard. Jason Bermas, you know, isn't paranoid, you know, wondering who's calling him on the phone or who's outside his house. If it's going to happen, man, it's going to happen. I am one man. If they truly want to get me, they're going to get me. But if they get me, man, it's like Star Wars. I only become hundreds, if not thousands times more powerful. They say Jason Bermas got assassinated. Well, geez, maybe the movies he made are legitimate. And then all of a sudden, you know, Loose Change starts getting tens of millions of views again. Fabled Enemies is seen by millions of people. You know, Invisible Empire, which will be out in March, you know, becomes this mantra. So I don't think it's in their best interest to do such a thing. And if it is, let them come and get me, man, because I'm not going to shut up. Because you know, I'm just not going to do it, man. I'm just not going to succumb to the fear that so many people are willing to do to go along, to get along. Oh, yeah, I know my company's involved in mass genocide. No big deal. It's not me. No, it is a big deal. Maybe you should find another company to work for. Oh, you know, my government's invading Afghanistan and Iraq, and they want to build a Eurasian Union. It's not really my problem. No, it is your problem. It's your brothers and sisters that are going out and fighting that war. So I really feel like my best weapon is my voice, and I refuse to live in fear because of it. I'll let you get one more question in, Cosma. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that in front of the 9/11 World Trade Centers, there was a small Greek Orthodox Christian church, and there was a group of people that went there, and they offered a lot of money for that little Christian church to destroy it. And basically, I just want to share that. And also, I want to say that I had my Facebook account locked down because I was sharing a lot of information about Illuminatis, about all these things, Bilderbergs.
Yeah, the Facebook is almost like China, my man. They will shut you down at the whim. They don't even give you a warning. And I've seen people with thousands of friends get shut down overnight. And you just got to, you know, buck up, get a new account, and keep doing the same thing over and over again. Have them shut you down a dozen times. Make it so that fuels you to be stronger, my man. Cosma, I thank you for the call. Keep it up in the info war, brother.